Hello, I'm Lindsey Gustin. Welcome to the show. Today's guest is Malia Dell. She is consultant and author of the book, Food That Works. So welcome to the show, Malia.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
I'm glad you're here. So tell us about yourself.
I live in Maine. I just finished my first book, Food That Works. Yeah, it just came out October 13th, so that's exciting. And I'm on my nationwide book tour. Spreading the word about food that works, and also I speak at companies about wellness and universities all over the country. So it's been fun.
Fantastic, right? So tell us about the book.
Yes, so Food That Works is different from other cookbooks. It's not just a bunch of recipes and then there you go, good luck. It's more of a food system. It's designed for busy people who work and want to eat less meals out and are just looking for a way to organize themselves. So it teaches them how to shop. It gives them shopping lists. It gives them prep work. So when they get home from the store, they do the prep. And then there's recipes that utilize all the ingredients throughout the week, so there's no waste. You don't even have to think.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
So where do you purchase this?
You can purchase this online. It's on my website, foodthatworks.info, and it's also available on Amazon.
Good, good. So what are you making on today's show?
So today I'm going to show you what a typical prep day is like out of my book, Food That Works. Helps you get whole foods prepped and ready and in your fridge. And then we're also going to make Southwestern baked mac and cheese.
Oh, sounds good.
Yeah.
So don't go away, right back. So welcome back. And I see you have a lot of items here. You just went to the grocery store, right?
Yes. So what I'm going to show you now is the prep out of Food That Works. So it gives you a shopping list. You take the book to the store. You buy everything on the list. You don't even have to think. Then you get home and it walks you through your prep work.
Oh, okay.
So this is the type of prep that restaurants do at their station before their shift starts. So that during the week, you're able to just grab a handful of this, handful of that, and assemble meals. You're not getting the cutting board out twice. You're not making a mess, a ton of dishes. This book really expedites your time in the kitchen and teaches you how to move efficiently.
So this is survival for the week.
This is real meals that survive the 9 to 5. This is going to get you through so you don't have to settle for food out. Yeah.
For a whole week. Okay. So what we start out with the eggs we got.
Yeah. So when we get back from the store, usually the prep work starts you through getting stuff into the oven. So you bake some chicken breasts. You bake some sweet potatoes. So those we have rocking in the oven right now.
Okay.
We'll pull those out in a little bit. At 350. Yep. And then I always hard boil some eggs at the beginning of the week.
You do?
This is a great snack to just have a bunch of hard boiled eggs in your fridge, ready to go. I grab them, throw them in my purse, I'm out the door. You can eat them on a train, in an airport. It's just a great snack, a good source of protein. So I suggest boiling a bunch of those. Yep, so all we did was we brought that to a boil. And then we set it aside and let it cool for 10 minutes. And that's it for hard-boiled eggs.
Good.
It's very easy. Then I store them in a bowl in the fridge, and I, like I said, grab from them all week, add them to salads and whatnot. Then the book moves you on effortlessly through the prep work. So what you would do is you would chop some zucchini and some summer squash.
That's what you have here, huh?
Yep.
This is zucchini.
Yep.
This is summer squash.
Yes. I use that a lot in my book. It's a great filler. It's good fiber. And it's a pretty neutral vegetable, so it takes on the flavor of whatever it is that you put it in. So
you cut them very small, I see.
Yeah. I sneak them in. You'll see. We're going to sneak that into our mac and cheese and make it a little healthier today on the show. So it walks you through chopping some other vegetables. We chop some carrots, some celery.
You like to do the carrots?
Yep. I just slice them. I don't grate them because I slice them and I throw them into a salad, which I'm going to show you as well.
And the celery, just chop it up?
Celery, just chop it up. And then I like to buy cheese like this. Instead of cheese that comes in the shredded bag.
Let's see these. Okay.
Yeah. This is sharp cheddar. It's not anything special. You would find it in the specialty cheese section, though.
Oh, okay.
And the reason this is a more healthful option is because you just grate it yourself. The bagged cheeses, they tend to have anti-mold agents and preservatives and all these weird things sprayed on them. Your body doesn't want all that. Your body wants clean and simple, delicious foods. So you just grate it yourself with a grater.
Just with the grater here?
Yep. Throw it into a bag, and you can just pull from this all week, and it'll last 7 days.
So use the large holes here, right?
Yep. I use the large holes as a grater. Yep.
And this is where they are.
That's it.
That's neat.
And we're going to use that in our mac and cheese as well. I also always purchase white cheddar because you can add your own coloring by adding a little turmeric, a little paprika, and I'll show you that with the mac and cheese as well.
Okay, so what else do we have?
So then we move along, continuing with our prep. This is something I always do at the beginning of the week. I throw together a salad.
Okay.
And like I said, I'm busy, you're busy, we're all busy. I just throw it right into the tub that the greens come in. It's nothing fancy, right? This is survival. So you've got some nice greens.
What type do you have there?
This is baby spinach.
Oh, I like that.
Yep,
yeah.
I love spinach, but any greens would do, mixed lettuces. And I try to buy organic for the greens.
Okay.
Because of the way that they're grown and pesticides drawn up through the roots of them and whatnot, you really want to buy your greens organic if possible, whenever possible. I also have a pint of little grape tomatoes.
Those are tasty.
Yeah, and they're easy, right? And I've already rinsed them. You always want to rinse produce before you use it. This is all I do. I dump it into the nothing fancy. That's that. I toss in some carrots that I sliced from our prep.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to just toss it around a little bit, and boom, this salad is done. That's all I do.
What do you use for dressing?
So during the week, I put this away in the fridge, and during the week when I'm running out the door, I need salad or lunch for work, I grab a handful, put it in a container, these nice glass containers, or you can use any container that you have. Throw a handful of that, and any leftovers. Maybe I'll put a hard-boiled egg, I'll put some cheese.
Good.
You know, all this stuff is available to you to just grab and go. So I'd throw some peppers on it. So this makes it really easy. I just put this away in the fridge. You can dress it however you like. I usually do olive oil and lemon and some sort of balsamic.
Like that dressing?
Yeah, I just keep it simple. And that's it.
Oh, okay, and this lasts for 1 week.
That'll last for a week, and you just pull from it throughout the week. It's very, very simple.
Put that in there.
Yeah. And then to continue and finish up the rest of our prep here, I would like to show you the easiest way to prep a pepper. So the more that you learn about chopping skills, the less time this prep will take you.
Yes.
And then, none of us want to slave in the kitchen. So here we go. This is all you're doing. When you're prepping a pepper, I chop one of the sides off, right?
Okay.
So that's it. And then I just take my hands inside it. I grab the seeds and the core.
Yeah, there's all those seeds in
and
core.
I just crack it out.
Ah.
That's it. Nothing too crazy.
Yeah. Get it
I put it into this bowl. Whenever I'm chopping, I start with a cutting board, my chef knife, and I always have a bowl nearby.
Right.
This is great to throw all of your scraps in. If you have additional seeds in your pepper, you can just clap it out. Clap, 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 clap.
Oh, yeah.
It gets them all out of there for you.
And the white part too, you want to get that out?
And the white part, yeah. I'm honestly not too picky because this is just me cooking at home, but a lot of people will cut the ribs out of the pepper.
I see.
I don't really fuss too much, to be honest. So then I just kind of break it down, giving myself nice flat halves to work with.
That's good.
And again, here's one of those ribs. No one wants to eat that, so just throw that in the bowl. And I'll cut off this little bottom portion so I have nice flat ends. Keep those, we can eat those later.
That's easy to do.
And then from here, like I said, you want to kind of organize your chopping so that it's easier for you to do. So I'm going to make these slices.
No, I see.
I'm going to stack them all up. Oops.
Just slice them.
Just slice them into strips, because then once you have strips, it's easier to then make little piles with them and chop them into smaller pieces.
I see.
And I'm just using a chef knife. I keep the tip of the chef knife down on the board and just do a downward rocking motion.
And roll it down.
Yeah, you have a little more control that way. And keep your fingers out of the way. And that's that. So now you have your nice little stacks, right? And then all you do is you're going to keep them bundled together, and you're going to cross diagonally over them.
So you get them in smaller pieces.
Smaller little pieces. And look how quick that is.
Yeah.
So that's just, and then I put them into a container. I should probably move this a little closer. Put them in a container. And that's really it. It's basic, we're just chopping vegetables, and that's all. This book is very casual and approachable, and I don't want people to feel intimidated. I just want them to be confident and get back into the kitchen and, get their hands wet.
Yeah.
Start playing around a little bit. There's really no rules. My recipes, they're just guides. You're the cook, I always tell people, modify it and, cook whatever ingredients you like, put more of that in, and it's going to taste good to you,
Are certain ingredients last longer in the refrigerator?
All of these ingredients that I have you chop in Food That Works in the prep, they'll last in your refrigerator in containers for 6 to 7 days. So you just use them up throughout the week. The other thing that I found that people, if people chop up their food in advance like this, they're more likely to use it.
Oh,
you know?
that is true.
When you get home and you don't break down the head of cauliflower, you don't chop these peppers, they tend to get, shoved to the back of the fridge, and then they get wasted, And so I'm crazy about food waste. This book is aimed to help people be a little more conscientious about food waste and how they can reduce food waste in the household level.
This just goes in the bowl.
That goes right there, and that's it. So we're already done with that step. And lastly is chopping an onion.
Okay.
I have a whole section in the book that talks about how to chop an onion.
Oh, all right.
So to help those people, the less cuts, the less tears.
You know what, we should put this under the cutting board.
You want to put that under there?
It's a good tip because then it won't slide around.
Yeah, you want to flatten it out a little bit more for me? Yes.
There.
Yeah, usually if you put a wet rag or something under the cutting board, then it won't slide. So what I start with the onion, right? I've got a yellow onion here. You want to keep the root side intact. So I'm not doing anything with the root side. We're going to cut off this end. And when I bring the knife down to the board, I like to peel the onion up because it starts the peeling a little bit. That's just a little trick. You don't have to do it, but this goes in our scrap bowl. And then in order to peel the onion, I cut it in half. It's easier to always work with 2 flat halves. Ooh. So we've got our 2 halves. And from here, I'll give you this one to peel. It's easier to peel the half because you can just start right at the corner.
Okay. Put it in our bowl.
Put it in our scrap bowl. The great thing about everything that's going into this scrap bowl is at the end of your prep, you're going to have a lot of chopped up tidbits of vegetables and whatnot. And you can reuse them I place everything in my scrap bowl into a Ziploc bag and I throw it in the freezer.
Oh,
and then I use it later. I use it later for stocks if I'm going to make soup.
Oh, that'd be good for
or something.
Stock
Yeah, it's great. Nothing goes to waste.
Yeah.
So see how easy it was to peel those? Then you have your 2 nice halves. And then here's the trick, the fastest way to chop an onion. This is the best. This changed my life. You're going to cut into the onion.
All right.
I'm not cutting through to the root, right?
No, I see that. Right.
So I'm just making incisions into the onion. And the thickness of the incision is going to determine how big my dice is. So if I want big chunks, I'm going to make these slices bigger. If I want smaller chunks, I'll make them closer together. But really, keeping that root end together is going to help you in the long run. Move this over a little bit. So you make your incisions. And now we're going to use the natural layers of the onion.
Yes.
Which is going to have us do less cutting. So it'll help make this onion just fall into a nice dice. So now we're going to cut it horizontally. I hold the onion together, and I'm just bringing the chef knife down on it.
So we've got them all the same size.
They're all the same size, and this is only taking me, 8 chops, right? And look, it falls to this beautiful dice, the natural shape of the onion, and I didn't have to do much cutting. So you just continue, continue on this side, carefully.
And they've got it all over.
And when I get to the end, I kind of just go for it, It doesn't have to be fancy.
That's good.
But you throw all this onion into your container. And throughout the week, when you want to start a recipe and it calls for a chopped onion, you don't have to get the cutting board out. You're just grabbing a handful of this onion and go.
And these are nice. They're glass. You can see through them.
Yes, these are great. I just got into this glass lockware. It's great. It's got this 4
that is
side
nice.
clip. It's so awesome. Whoops. Just clip. And then I know what's in my fridge. Everything's nice and organized. And that's it.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's it for the prep.
Okay, well, I think our chicken will be done now.
Let's check on it. Let's see what that looks like.
Step over there now.
Okay.
Let's see. We have a chicken in here, chicken breast that you marinated, right?
No, I didn't even marinate it. You don't have to do it because these chicken breasts are just going to be a blank slate that you can use for a bunch of different types of meals throughout the week. Beautiful.
So what's on there? Pepper?
So all we did is we took a little olive oil, rubbed them with olive oil. That keeps the moisture so they won't dry out. A little salt and pepper. That is it. These are just plain chicken breasts, which so throughout the week you could pull it with a fork, shred it, and add barbecue sauce and have barbecued chicken quickly.
Right.
You could chop it up and make it into a nice chicken salad and throw it on top of a green salad.
Many options for this chicken that you baked.
Exactly. Just by having these in your fridge,
And
you
there's
can
our
go any route with it.
What do you have
We
here?
baked some sweet potatoes.
Sweet potatoes.
I love sweet potatoes.
do?
Do you?
Healthy.
They're so delicious. And sometimes I'll just eat them cold. I'll
Really?
chop them up, put them on a salad. And again, this is how Food That Works works. It teaches you to prep all of these whole foods in advance. So during the week, you know, we're all busy. We just want to get into our sweatpants at the end of the day. When you walk through the door, you can just grab, and you're not ordering out.
Really? Yeah. And then I have some tinfoil here. If you want, you can wrap these in tinfoil and store them.
I'll wrap it right up in the tinfoil that I cooked it in.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's it.
Sounds good. Great. So what will we have next? What's the recipe?
We're going to come back and do baked mac and cheese.
Sounds good. Be right back. Oh, welcome back. We're here with Malia, wellness consultant, and she's going to make a recipe from her book.
Yes. So we're going to make the Southwestern baked mac and cheese from page 132. Yes.
Boy, it is colorful.
Yes, it's colorful and it has a ton of veggies in it. So you're not just eating pasta and cheese. You're sneaking a bunch of those beautiful vegetables that we chopped earlier on our prep day. And so this will be nice and quick since we've already done a lot of the work.
Okay.
So what we're going to start with first is we're going to just take this out of your way. We're going to boil some pasta.
Oh, here's the pasta we have.
Yeah, you can just pour that right in.
Did you like to use the wheat?
Yeah, I use whole wheat pasta.
You do?
Yep, and I'm put a little salt in there for you too. About 2 teaspoons of salt, just kind of salt the water. So we've got that boiling. And while that's cooking, we're going to start with a roux. We're going to make a cheese sauce. So this is the cheese sauce for our mac and cheese.
All right.
So a roux is basically how you would start a white sauce. So I'm just going to take this butter right out.
Our butter is melting. And now what?
So now we add flour to make this roux.
All right.
So as you put the flour into the melted butter, you're going to be whisking the entire time to kind of create crumbles here.
Okay.
Nice.
Just about a quarter cup of butter, huh? I mean flour.
Yeah, it's a quarter cup of flour. You can use any type of flour. Beautiful. I'll add the rest there for you. Just keep stirring. And that's a roux right there. It's a thickener. It's used in a lot of white sauces, as I mentioned.
Yeah.
And once you get all those crumbles, I'm going to turn this up just a little bit. Then you're going to add a cup of milk.
Okay, just regular milk?
Yep. And keep stirring, stirring, stirring.
Oh, and then it thickens up.
And then it thickens up, and that's what's going to make our cheese sauce for this awesome mac and cheese.
Okay.
So what I like to show in my book is that you can eat anything you want. There's really no rules, as long as you make it yourself from whole ingredients. So you want mac and cheese, learn how to make mac and cheese. You know, don't settle for something in a box. You deserve the fresh version, right?
Well, I think this is done. I'm going to take our pasta and drain it. I'm going to take over the sink and drain it.
Okay, that would be excellent.
Looks done, right?
All right, and I'll keep continuing on this cheese sauce.
Okay.
So we're going to add a cup of cheese to the roux. And I'm going to reserve a half cup of the cheese that we grated to put on top of the mac and cheese before it goes into the oven. So you just want to keep stirring that as it's cooking. I have it on medium, low at this point. And as the cheese melts, you're going to add your spices.
Well, pasta looks good.
So the spices that I like to add to my mac and cheese, like I said, this is a Southwestern mac and cheese.
Yeah.
So it's kind of has a little bit of cumin in it to give it that flavor. It's going to have peppers and onions.
Said Southwest, yeah, right.
So we have a half teaspoon of cumin.
Just give it color, too.
A 4th teaspoon of cayenne. You said you don't like real spicy,
No,
right? Okay, I'm just
no.
going to do a little bit then. I'm not going to do the whole thing, just a little bit. And any recipe, you modify it the way that you like it. That's what's great about cooking for
nice
yourself.
And thick here, isn't it?
Yeah, that looks delicious. All right, and what do we have next? We have hot sauce. Again, Lindsay doesn't like it spicy, so I'm just going to do a little less than what the recipe calls for.
Okay. Well, you can use this to your own taste.
Absolutely.
Boy, it smells good.
We're going to add some salt, a teaspoon of salt. Got my salt here. I like to keep salt in a dish like this. It's so much easier when you're cooking. Yeah, instead of getting the salt shaker out. You know, you get comfortable with just using pinches, which helps you move quicker throughout the kitchen when you're cooking.
Okay.
So that's it. That's our
the roof.
cheese sauce, right? But it's not very pretty. So what I like to do, since it's white, you know, it's not that exciting. I'm
Yeah.
used to orange mac and cheese, right?
Oh,
I add
yeah.
a little turmeric, and this is a very healthful spice.
Is
This
it?
is one of the greatest superfoods on the planet. I'm going to add just a little bit to get our orange color,
Oh,
right?
pretty
You can
color,
stir that
yeah.
up, and I'm going to add a little. This is smoked paprika, which is red.
Oh, I've had that.
So I'm going to
yeah.
add some of
The
that.
smoked one is really good.
If you mix that up, I'm pretty sure that'll make
Oh,
orange,
yeah.
right?
Look at that.
So we're
Pretty color.
coloring our mac and cheese with natural flavorings. So that's why I always buy white cheese, and you know, I just color it myself if I need to.
Right.
Right?
I see that, yeah.
So you stir that up,
Okay,
and there's
now
our
what?
cheese sauce. And go to, we'll,
That's it. We'll
That's
be
it.
right back.
3 minutes.
The recipe we're making on today's show, that will be available on my website, and that's chefsrecipe.org. So now what?
now we're just going to assemble the mac and cheese. So it's quick. We already have all of our chopped vegetables. We're adding them directly into the pasta that we boiled.
Yes.
So it's a cup of peppers, which I know I'm just using my hand, but my hand, 2 handfuls I've found out is roughly a cup.
Is that?
Yeah, for me. And then a cup of zucchini and summer squash that we chopped as well.
Mix it together.
Right, so we're adding bulk to this pasta, like I said, to this mac and cheese. So it's not just cheese and pasta.
Yes,
You're getting more nutrients
healthy.
and vitamins, right?
A very healthy one.
a cup of each, pardon me. Then,
So we mix this up a little bit?
yeah, you can mix it up. All we're doing is adding our cheese sauce on top of that.
Okay.
Cheese
Put that
sauce.
in there.
And
And then we put it in the oven at what?
And then you give that a good stir. I gently stir it so I don't crush the pasta.
Oh, I see.
So I'm just folding it in,
Oh, good.
covering everything with the cheese. And then we have greased this dish that's right here behind us.
This one here,
And
right?
yep, and we're just going to pour all of this into the dish.
Oh, this is easy to do.
It's very easy. You've got baked mac and cheese right here. Bake it in the oven. That's going to finish off the vegetables.
Okay, so I have the oven on at 350.
Yep,
That'd be good.
yep, 350. And I like to just top my mac and cheese with a little more cheese and a little hot sauce. I think the hot sauce cooks up nice and crispy,
Oh, I see.
and it gives it a little more color. It smells delicious. I'm
So this is the
excited.
cheese that you prepped earlier.
This is the cheese that we grated in our prep day, all ready to go. Super easy.
Boy,
You don't
looks
have to wash that grater
good.
again. A little hot sauce on there, just a little. And we toss that in the oven for 20 minutes.
Okay, I said I have the oven on. So if you just move over, then I'll put it in the oven here. I'll put it in the bottom here. And we'll be right back. Our Southwestern mac and cheese is out of the oven, and boy, that looks beautiful.
It looks really good. It
Colorful.
smells delicious. So we're just going to dig right in here.
This is very healthy.
It is healthy. And that's the thing is, you know, eat the foods you love, but cook them yourself. Put in great ingredients,
Right.
and it'll be
I
amazing.
bet the kids would like this too.
Yeah.
Get them to eat their vegetables.
Yeah, sneak them in there. And look at how beautiful that is. The vegetables are kind of like a colorful confetti all throughout the mac and cheese.
Yes, it's beautiful. Well, we'll go in the dining area now and taste this good food. We're in the dining area now with our very healthy menu. So review what you made today, your mac
Yes.
and cheese.
Yes, so we did a bunch of prep from Food That Works, and then we made this mac and cheese, which is the Southwestern baked mac and cheese. And in it has whole wheat pasta. We made a cheese sauce with a bunch of spices, cumin, turmeric to color it up and add some flair. And then we added a ton of vegetables, so you can kind of sneak more veggies in there. That's why it's so colorful and beautiful.
Yeah, well,
good
I'm
for
gonna
you.
try it.
Yeah.
Boy, looks good. I like it.
Good,
It's
right?
very good.
It's good for you.
I bought some wine to go with it.
There you go. Yep.
Yeah. So what else do you have in your cookbook?
Yeah, so Food That Works is designed, it has 5 weeks in it. So you just pick a menu that sounds good to you. You shop from the shopping list, get home from the store. Like I said, it walks you through prep work, kind of how we had done. And there's menus, so there's colors on the side. You pick the menu that sounds good, and I pretty much walk you through it. And I know that this book is going to help a lot of people eat better Monday through Friday and get organized for the week. It doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't have to be intimidating. I've done a lot of the thinking for you. You're really just going to the store and following.
Right.
Yeah, so
How many
check it out.
recipes do you have in there?
There's over 65 recipes.
Oh, good.
Yep, and lots of information. Each page is sprinkled with tips, and there's a bunch of guides. There's some desserts in there too. There's
desserts.
Yeah, there's all sorts of good stuff. So check
Good.
it out. It's really funky and cool, and
So
it's
did
different.
you come up with these recipes yourself?
I did. I made up all
Really?
these recipes. Yep, they're healthy renditions. I love to renovate other people's recipes and make them a little healthier.
I see.
So that's what I do. And yeah, so this is kind of a capsule of all of the research I've been doing for the past 4 years.
4 years it took you to do
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Right, fantastic.
It's been an amazing journey. I'm excited that it's out there, and I'm happy to get it into people's hands.
Good, right. Well, I'm going to put up my website now because these recipes are available on my website. That's chefsrecipes.org. And then I'll put up your website because this is how you can get the book. Is that right?
Yep, you can purchase my book from the website. You can also, it's in a bunch of bookstores nationwide, so you can always call ahead and ask and support bookstores.
Okay, so it's 857-301-9108, and there is the website. So thank you so much for coming
Thank
today.
you. This was fun.
Good.
Yeah.
You showed us how to prepare a meal and for 5 days.
Quick. Food on the
just
fly.
by doing the prepping.
Yes,
That's the
exactly.
most
We're all
important.
busy, and that's key to eating well.
Okay, well, thanks again for coming on.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
And remember, until next time, good eating.